The third area is the widget selection panel. When we click on the widgets button here on the left hand side, that will bring us into this widget selection panel where we have on order, showing the items that are currently on order in the purchase tracker. Product notes, which corresponds to the product notes panel on individual products. The performance widget, which will show the discrepancy between the eoStar auto forecast numbers and the actual forecast, or if you have put in manual forecast numbers, it will indicate the discrepancy between the manual forecast numbers and the actual forecast. The selected product widget shows information regarding the selected product, including when it was last ordered and how much was ordered. The price points widget, which shows the price point for a given time period for a selected item. It'll show the price that it was sold and the quantity of items that were sold at that price. The sales momentum widget will extrapolate based on the current average what future sales may be going forward. Cases cut last year widget shows how many cases were cut last year for the given time period. The purchase flow widget, which shows what the quantity on hand is for a given warehouse and the days on hand that you have left for that item. The time series viewer is the workhorse of the forecasting dashboard. You will see that this time series viewer gathers all the information from the data sources and allows you to display select information in a grid and a graph style. It is represented both on the sales and purchasing panels. We have the forecast worksheet widget. As you can see, it has its own panel dedicated to it. Now, the numbers on the forecast worksheet are generated by eoStar automatically. And what happens is it looks at the sales from the last 90 days from that sales period. It compares it to the same period last year, then generates the percentage in growth or shrinkage that will be applied to the forecast numbers from that period forward. The sales trend panel, which is another widget, can then be used to modify the forecasting number en masse or singularly in the forecast worksheet. The cases sold last year widget shows how many cases were sold for the same period last year. The inventory last year widget shows a historical view of warehouse inventory. Finally, we have the sales trend widget. This can be used to set the growth numbers for the next year. By setting the amount of lead-in days for a particular trend, you can determine the change percentage for the future periods. I will demonstrate this as we venture into the sales panel. Finally, the fourth area of the forecast dashboard is the data area. Data area is comprised of three panels: the worksheet, the sales, and the purchasing panel, all of which you can add widgets from the left-hand side over to the panels. Generally, it is considered a good idea to leave the forecast worksheet panel dedicated to the forecast worksheet. Then you have the sales panel, which focuses on data concerning sales. The trends, the forecasts, rolling averages for the sales momentum, cases sold last year, etc. And then the purchasing panel, which focuses on data concerning purchasing to match the trending needs going forward. And from here you can see the quantities on hand, what the sales forecast is going to be, what your target days on hand might be, and what your simulated order quantity could be if you want to play around with the numbers for your purchases. If you use the Miller WOQs, those numbers will be reflected in the on order for each time period.